everyone. So today I'm going to talk about a very interesting short story which is called The Peach Blossom Luck, written by Ko Shi Lee. Now, I am going to touch on the genre of this short story. Now there are three genres that I find that is very much closely related to this short story. The obvious one is that this is a very young adult fiction. This is a very young adult kind of story, so 12 to 18 years of age, very much suitable to read this story. The second one that I find very obvious is women's fiction, because this story is centered a lot on the female characters like Connie and also the main character herself, which is the storyteller of this story, whose name is not mentioned. The third one might be quite a surprise for some of you, but there is a bit touch of magical realism. Now, what magical realism means is that there are magical events that are part of ordinary life, and the characters do not see them as abnormal or unusual, and they see that this is a natural part of, in the story. Now, this story there is fortune telling in this story, which some people don't believe in fortune telling. I myself, I don't really believe in fortune telling. Yes, but in this story there is an element of magical, which is fortune telling. Even the way that the procedure that the fortune teller does might and might not be true, so maybe it's like what the author came up with, or maybe that is how it is, but it's still like something that not all of us really believe that this is true. So yeah, that is why I think that this short story does lie on magical realism.
Hello, Farhana here. Okay, so for my part, I'm going to talk about the synopsis of our chosen short story. Alright, so to start off, there were two women who visited the fortune teller, which are the main character and also her friend Connie. So the reason why they went to the fortune teller is because the main character is actually accompanying Connie, because Connie needed someone to translate the language for her, because the fortune teller was a Cantonese man. So Connie do not speak nor understand Cantonese language, so she needed someone to translate the language for her. The reason why Connie went there is because she needed help. She was desperate because her husband was currently cheating on her with another woman. So she needed a solution. She needed help for her husband to leave that woman and continue to love her instead. Okay, I'm exaggerating, but yes, that was the main reason. And also one of their lunch friends, who is Datin Thai, she was the one who suggested them to go to the fortune teller, because she went there before and he was actually very good in reading people. Yes, so Connie prepared her name, date and time of birth together with her husband's. Yes, when the fortune teller said that her husband was born with Dao Fa Wan, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, I'm so sorry, but yeah, it's in Chinese or Cantonese, yes. Which means that the husband would attract women easily in his life. For example, here he will encounter 3 women in his life, and of course Connie was desperate, so she asked for a solution. Maybe there's a way to break his luck, to break his fate. But then the fortune teller said that no one can do anything unless her husband himself tried to change his fate. And then the main character mentioned to the fortune teller that Connie's husband was determined to divorce her and marry the other women instead. And then plot twist came. The fortune teller said that, didn't your husband divorce his wife to marry you instead? You get the twist? Did you get the twist? It's because okay, if you don't get it, it's actually Connie is the second wife, because her husband divorced his first wife to marry Connie, and maybe it's Connie's turn now. Okay, I'm going to stop here. So that's all for the synopsis. At the end, they just went back in silence. Alright, okay, so I'll pass you to the next presenter.
Alright, after having read this short story, alright, one of the themes is that this story is based on karma, alright? That is to say, what goes around comes around. So this theme is particularly notable as it is only seen at the end of the short story and is the source of its very last twist. When we started reading this novel, we felt pity for Connie as we thought that, her husband was allowed to left her for a younger, more beautiful woman, even after how she had sacrificed, scrimped and saved, supported her husband until he was able to make it big. Alright, this is a classic case of old bulls seeking to eat new grass, or as we Chinese like to say, 老牛吃嫩草, which is a Chinese proverb detailing how a man's unfaithfulness towards his wife will result in consequences. However, as the story progresses, our perspective slowly changes, and at the final twist, we realize that Connie deserved what she got because she was the third party who snatched away a woman's husband in the first place, as her current husband divorced his first wife to marry her, as told by the fortune teller. So, an issue we would like to highlight here is the shallowness of human nature. Alright, this is characterized by several symbols and mentions of behavior by Connie. So, in the short story, it is mentioned that Connie had a polish honed and developed by years of careful studying and assimilating the habits of the very rich. This statement alone is strong enough to see that she's actually a very shallow person burdened by jealousy and her desire to be rich. As an earlier statement that mentions that she had a polish to her that obscured all physical flaws. This was stated that she was neither pretty nor beautiful. However, to us, the flaws here also mean flaws in her character and personality. This is further symbolized by money in the statement in which her polish was buffed by money. Money and wealth have long been seen as a symbol of human shallowness, as concepts of bribery, betrayal, and corruption have long since been associated with it. Another symbol of it is Connie's disfigured makeup. Right from the sentence, she smiled and two black rivulets appeared under her dark glasses. Her tears were making her mascara run again. Alright, the tears represented her inner self, which is dark and ugly due to being a husband snatcher and her jealous desire to be seen as wealthy, further thrown into perspective as the tears become two black rivulets. Black is a dark color which further emphasizes her dark inner nature. Alright, also as Connie's makeup runs, her true face is made ugly, which itself is a powerful symbol of her true self's revelation.
Hello, good day everyone. My name is Nurul. I'm Binti Kamarul Baharin, and I'll be continuing my groupmate presentation. Okay, but this time I'll be explaining about things that we like and things that we don't quite like based on the short story. So the first thing that we like is that the short story teaches us about Chinese belief. Okay, it makes us see the world in a bigger picture, and it teaches us to be open-minded and see other cultures' belief. One of our groupmates, Benjamin, is a Chinese, so he doesn't really talk about his belief, but from here we know our limits and our limitations. So yeah, it proves that it teaches us this short story teaches, So the next thing that we like is the development of the story. Okay, so it went from Connie being sad for her husband's betrayal and unfaithfulness to seeing where it actually comes from. We like the plot twist at the end of the story. We like it. Like, it is unexpected, but there is a thing that we don't quite like from this short story, which is how the writer rushes off to make the ending. I don't know, it feels like the writer sort of rushed off to make the ending, because we understand the plot twist at the end that the ending carries. However, the fact that the portion of the beginning and the ending isn't equal, the short story is really understandable and interesting, but the ending makes us feel a little bit in confusion. So yeah, I think that's the only thing that we don't quite like from the short story. Other than that, the short story is amazing. So my friend will continue the presentation, so stay tuned.
Now, Would I recommend this short story to the viewers out there? I would say yes, because the issues that is being discussed in this story is actually very much a reality to some people. And even if you are not into fortune telling or any supernatural kind of force, I think you'd still find this story very interesting, because I do. And if you get the chance to read it, go read it. It's called Peach Blossom Luck, written by Koshi Lee. Thank you. Bye.